If you have a vehicle, at some point you need to check and service your brakes. Preventative maintenance is the name of the game. The last thing you want is to be in a situation where you can't stop. So today I'm going to show you how to properly check and inspect your braking system. When you pop the hood, the first thing you want to inspect is the fluid level. Your brake fluid should be between the mid and the max line. If the fluid is above the midline but below the max line, don't add any fluid unless you replace the brake pads. If the fluid is below the midline, inspect the braking system for leaks. When adjusting the fluid level after it's been below the midline, the braking system may require brake bleeding due to the possibility of air entering the system. The fluid reservoir cap indicates the type of brake fluid that is required for the system. Most economy vehicles use DOT3 brake fluid, but double check which fluid is required before adding to the system. The fluid should be clear with a light amber color. Fluid that is brown, green, or muddy indicates a problem. Have your brake fluid checked by a professional if it looks unhealthy, as brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs moisture from the air. This can cause system corrosion and can lead to seized caliper pistons and/or well cylinders. Brake fluid is a solvent and can dissolve paint on contact, so be sure to wash off brake fluid immediately with soap and water if spilled. There are many things to look out for. Check the master cylinder, brake booster, and inspect all the lines, hoses, and fittings. Flexible lines should be free of any cracking, cuts, or bulges. Hard lines should be rust-free and damage-free with no kinks or bent lines. Next, you want to inspect your brake pad lining thickness. There are a variety of tools available to check this. Depending on the design of the caliper, you may have a hard time checking both sides. You will want to replace the brake pads when they're at 3 mm or less. If you feel confident enough to remove the brake calipers, inspect the brake pads for unequal pad lining wear, meaning there is a difference in lining material from the outer and inner pads. If unequal pad wear is found, inspect for sticking caliper slide pins, caliper pistons, and seized pads stuck in the caliper's bracket. Inspect the brake shims for rust, as they can cause a low, soft brake pedal feeling along with abnormal noise. When inspecting the rotors, look out for discoloration, hot spots, rust, grooves, cracks, and warpage. Depending on the extent of the wear, it's sometimes not possible to save a rotor with machining, and a replacement is the best option. Some vehicles are equipped with drum brakes. The best way to inspect them is to take off the drum and inspect the pad lining. Inspect for uneven wear, glazing, and cracking. Check the brake drum for pitting, hot spots, scoring, and rust. If below 1 mm of thickness, replace the brake shoes. Check for leaks and cracked boots at the both cylinders. Since the brake lining can be contaminated by a leaking wheel cylinder or a leaking axle seal, once contaminated, replacement of the shoes are necessary. Look out for loose, overly stretched, or damaged springs and components. Your brake booster is something that needs to be checked also. Your booster gives brake pedal assistance when the engine is running and vacuum is being supplied to the booster. If your brake pedal is hard with the car running, it could mean you have a failed booster. With the key off, engine off, you should have a firm to progressively harder brake pedal with each pump, till the car is turned on and the engine creates more vacuum for the booster, allowing the pedal to soften to provide brake assistance once again. When it's all said and done, safety is what's important, and I hope this information was helpful. If it was, consider liking and subscribing and sharing this with a friend that might find this information useful.